This is the last module, and this is how to sew on a snap. And you're going to need a piece of fabric for this. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a hand sewing needle, threaded, and you're going to need to knot it on the end, just like you did for the button. And of course, you're going to need a snap. Snaps come on cards like this. In the module drawer, there's some really big snaps for you to work with, so they're a little easier to handle. I'm going to use snaps from this card. Now, snaps have two sides to them, and one is an innie and one is an outie. So this is the outie right here. Turn it to, I don't know if I can turn it to the side so you can see it sticks out a little bit. And then this is the innie, and so this is the way they go once they're snapped. So you've got to be really careful when you sew these on that you sew them on correctly so that I can snap them when I grade them. If I can't snap them, then you've sewn it on incorrectly. So we're going to sew the outie on first. I'm going to put the outie in one corner and I'm going to put the innie on the other corner. You're going to take your thread that has a knot in it and you're going to draw your thread up through the fabric. And then you're going to thread on the bottom part of the snap with the outie sticking up right through one of the holes. It doesn't matter which one. And then hold it with your finger. Now you're going to sew through the fabric and up through the hole where the thread is coming through. There's 2 times. And I'm going to do it one more time. 3 times should be enough. Now, you do not have to cut the thread to move on to the next opening. What you want to do, you want to take your needle and come underneath and just come up. Let me get this up close so you can see. So you're just going to take your needle through and then come up through the next hole. And then sew that one 3 times. Getting a loop there on my thread. There it goes. Alright, then I'm going to draw my thread through and come up to the next one. And then the last one. Now when I finish my third one, now I want to go back down to the back side of the fabric, turn it over, and I'm going to sew through the stitches and do the same thing. Make that loop with a knot. I'm going to do that a couple times. And then cut the thread. Then I'm going to put a needle in the bottom of my thread again. Excuse me, put a knot in the end of my thread. And I'm going to sew on the other side of the snap. So I'm going to put that on this corner. And I want it to be this way. So it's going to be this way on my fabric as opposed to this way, because this way it won't snap. So it's got to kind of look almost like it's upside down, but it isn't. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw my thread through for my first stitch, and I'm going to stitch it 3 times. Draw my thread to the next opening. And I'm going to my last opening now. Then I'm going to draw my thread back down to the wrong side and knot that off. Cut my thread, and if I've done it properly, this will snap into this. So they should line up and snap. Okay, and when I grade them, they shouldn't pop right off. They should be well and securely sewn. And there you have a snap.